So what's this drink called?
So this one is. Let me take a look at the bottle. It is the grapefruit and rose. No, I don't think it's rosé. It's rose. Grapefruit and rose vodka. This Ketel one is vodka, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a vodka tonic that we're having. There's no sugar, guys.
Ooh,
This
so
is
it's
like a skinny gin and tonic. Well, it's not a gin and
it.
tonic. It's a vodka tonic. So it's a diet friendly. If you guys are trying to get your beach bodies ready,
We were.
They have a cucumber mint.
they
Oh,
do.
the cucumber mint one is really good too.
That one's so good.
But I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. But I went a little heavy-handed on my pour today. Because it's a clear drink, I wanted to add a little bit more color in there. We had some leftover fruit and thyme from our previous drink. So why not? So we threw it in there, you know?
So that's it after this one.
Maybe. I mean, let's see. We'll play it by ear. Because I still got a lot of blueberries and thyme left.
This is true. We have to run out the fruit.
Yeah.
And it's good for us. It's healthy.
The fruit is good. That evens out all the alcohol consumption that we're doing today.
it cleans your insides too. That's why birds eat a lot of fruit.
They eat it because it cleans their inside.
That's why they poop a lot.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I think we just poop because they think, oh, you want to hear a bird poop story, right? I was working at South Street Seaport maybe about a week or 2 weeks ago. No, I'm sorry, maybe it was 3 weeks ago. And I kid you not, we were walking along the wall where near the building and everything, and the bird shit like missed my groom by a split second.
Oh my God.
You could hear it right on the sidewalk. I was like, oh my God, you are so lucky right now. Have you guys ever had like bird shit like land on a client during a shoot?
Not on a client.
On you?
No, not on me. It was on
Well, I
Jen.
had it on my camera.
Right. And then was it your dad or you that got pooped on in France?
My dad.
Oh, in London.
London. My dad, yeah.
That was pretty
But when
funny.
we were shooting a wedding, I
Those
had.
fucking English birds.
So her dad has most of his hair still intact, but it was right in the center of his like ball spot.
Hey man, you gotta give some love to us bald men, all right? It's like our life is hard enough as it is already.
It's like the bird like knew like that's the
The
spot.
target.
Right there,
That was the target right there.
That was a fun trip. I don't think many people know this. We actually went to Europe. It was just by coincidence that we
Right.
both ended up in
Yep.
London and Paris
Yep.
on the same trip.
But Paris at the same time for a couple of days.
It was so romantic too, you know, because Rolando did a little twirl with me in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
We had a romantic date with Eiffel Tower
There was
during
someone
sunset.
someone added some nice music to it and like an overlay to make it look vintage. It
He
was a
swept
great
me off
time.
my feet. Why do I get to be the one that gets twirled? Why didn't you get twirled?
You didn't ask. Should have asked.
That was a fun trip. You know, like that they say that that's the test of true friendship when you can travel together. Same thing with family too. You know, sometimes it's tough to travel with family and friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're still learning that. Friends are more easier, I believe.
Yeah.
As long as you travel with like-minded people that are like when you go out to eat, you know, they just split the bill instead of like trying to count.
Trying to split it.
I only had an appetizer and water, and now you got to sit there and split the whole bill for one person. But if you hang out with people that just like, yeah, you know, whatever, they just split everything. It just makes everything easier.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of travelers you guys are, right? But I know for me and Karis, like we wake up whenever we wake up, and then we just go, right? We have some friends of ours who, you know, they fill the itinerary. Hey, 8:15, we're going to be doing this. 9:14, we're going to be doing this.
That's us.
And then
No, don't do
10:30.
that.
What?
That's
you guys
us.
do that?
Oh,
We do not do that.
We need to
guess-
maximize our time while we're
No.
out here. I don't know. The next time we're going to be coming out here, so we're going to fill our itinerary with, you know, we're going to go to this museum at this time, and then we're going to go to this other museum at this time.
Yeah.
Yes, we got-
we don't plan to like down to the minute, but we'll just like say, all right, we're going to do these 4 things in one day. And that could take all day, but it's more like free flowing. If we
Yeah.
get to do everything, then it's great. If not, like a lot of people that have traveled with us, they say that we cram too much stuff into our days. But we always approach it like kind of like what you said, like we don't know when we're going to come back. So why not just try to do as much as you can?
right.
But it's different because it's just me and Jen usually, so it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier when it's just
Yeah.
two of you. You gotta travel with
when
others.
kids
a little
are
different.
involved or, you know, parents, it's a little bit more harder to
You gotta kind of coordinate all those
wake
people.
everybody up. And yep.
Yeah. We had a big double family, like my parents and then her parents, like, and then my brother and his family. I think there was like 12 of us.
Yeah, it's a
Oh
lot.
my God.
Yeah. We've done that for like
And
Disney.
it's all different age groups. Like, well, we've done it, but everyone's kind of like the same age range with a couple of kids.
Yeah.
But when you throw in parents and who's
Everyone's
tired,
got different schedules, and everyone's got different things that they want to do, things they want to get out of that trip. You know what I mean?
Trips, I feel like when you have that many people, it might just be easier to just like go to like an all-inclusive beach resort and just like, hey, I'm going to be at the beach at this time. Meet me by the bar. You know, they can meet you there and just do their own thing. They don't have to like follow you everywhere. But when you're trying to sightsee, it gets a little bit more hectic, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, you got some people that are like, you know, laid back like us. And you got other people who are focused AF.
Yeah.
You guys see what I did there?
I see they're very focused on their
itinerary
trip
planning.
We try to be focused. It's very hard. Very hard.
Why do I always get to win every round every time we do
know.
this?
I keep
You always
forgetting.
catch on. You always remember.
Oh my gosh. All right. You guys ready to start this podcast?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
ready.
let's do it.
We are focused.
Hey guys, welcome to the Focused AF podcast. My name is Ben,
I'm Jen.
This is Ro.
and we are Focused AF, I think.
We are right
And we
now.
have the ghost of Karis.
Karis is still on mom duty right now. You know, after Mother's Day and whatnot, she thinks she got a break. But so my in-laws, they just came back from out of town. They were away for like a month, but they're still experiencing jet lag right now. So they're basically just vegetables in our house. They're alive, but they're just alive, just there, you know. But so Karis is still pulling double duty. Why am I not doing it?
Why are you not doing that, man?
Yeah, what
I did it
happened?
last
Mothers would like to know.
How did you escape?
Well, I took care of all the stuff in the morning. You know?
So what is on the topic of conversation for today?
I think we're talking about AI today, guys.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Artificial non-intelligence, as I like to call it.
Why?
Stupid AI. Racist AI. Stupid.
So what is your beef with AI?
Oh, I have no beef with AI. I love AI. Are you kidding me? I have all kinds of nice things to say about AI.
If you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast with Howie
Mandel.
about AI, you'll get a whole different perspective on
Yeah.
what AI could possibly be.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
What is everybody's understanding of AI and its capabilities?
Well, for me, AI, you know, here's the thing. I don't have necessarily beef with AI, but I have beef with how people use AI.
yeah.
You know, for me, I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, AI for me is just a tool. You know, it's not the end all be all in my workflow. You know, it's no different than Photoshop or Lightroom or even my cameras. It's just a tool. You know what I mean? You know, as far as as far as the programs that we use or I use in our workflow, we use ChatGPT to help me with a little bit with the blogging and also when I'm writing for my weekly lives.
Yeah.
Right. Or even just outlining stuff that we want to talk about for the podcast or anything at all. Like ChatGPT is a great tool to help me kind of
Get organized.
Just be a starter for the thing. But like I know a lot of people use ChatGPT just to write the whole fucking blog, and I
Or
don't,
their emails to clients. I know a couple of people that are doing it.
you know, I mean, like I don't know. Anyway, so I use ChatGPT in that way. I also use what was the other one? I use Midjourney also for my title, my presentation titles, my title cards and stuff. So that way I don't have to take my own pictures because sometimes it's very specific. I'm like, okay, I need a picture of a bakery for an analogy that I'm going to be talking about in this presentation, right? And if I were to go online to like, let's see, Getty Images or whatever it is to get a stock photo,
Right.
I got to pay money for that. Midjourney, it does. I mean, I pay $10 a month for it, but I get unlimited.
You got a subscription?
Right.
Another subscription?
Yeah, it's $10. Like I get unlimited. Like it's unlimited, so it's okay. If it's limited, then you know we're gonna have problems. But I'm like, hey, listen, Midjourney, I need a picture of a French bakery with cakes on the window, and I need ladder. I can be super specific, and I need ladders outside, and I need a neon sign that says this is and it will create that for me. I don't need to like go all over Google trying to find this image or
Right.
Getty Images of trying to find this image.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
didn't realize you
That's
were
pretty
using that
cool.
for
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
your graphics.
Yeah, I use it for my graphics, and it's really good. When I was using it at that time, it was still struggling with fingers, but I think it's kind of a lot better.
It's gotten too realistic. I don't know.
Yeah, but I use it for that. But I know a lot of people use Midjourney for to build a portfolio to show. Like, I think that's
kind of sleazy.
Yeah, that's kind of sleazy, right? And then also, of course, probably I don't know. This is probably what we're going to be covering today, like AI in our workflows, like culling and editing.
For sure. Yeah.
The big players out there is going to be like Aftershoot and Imagine AI, but I think there's like some other big players or emerging players in that space as well. So I think that's and I use all of those platforms to as tools to help me get my work done a little quicker, and that's really it. Just for me to leverage my time a little bit better.
Yeah,
so I can spend my time doing taking care of other parts of my business.
Yeah, I think that's the main purpose of it for business owners is to use it to. I think the priority should use it to make your work faster, kind of help break those mental blocks you might have with creating content, creating imagery, whatever the case may be, but then adding the human element to it and not letting it kind of take over your whole business and all your content and all your copy, because then people can tell that like this came from somewhere that wasn't you. And I think so for us, we're a little bit late comers to the game. We just use Aftershoot for editing and culling. And then I've used ChatGPT like once.
For like a blog post.
Yeah.
But you tweaked it.
I had to tweak it because like the words it was using, I was like, I would never say like magical, everlasting, like whatever like mystical words it was putting into my blog. Those are things I would never say.
Euphoric.
So I had to tweak a little bit, but when I was playing with it, I was like blown away by like how quickly it would pull up words and content and like just wherever it pulls it from, because I still don't have 100% like knowledge on AI, but the words and everything I was pulling out in like 2 seconds flat was crazy.
It didn't speak in your voice?
No.
Yeah. I think that's the problem. It's still a robot at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to talk about this. Like the people I talk to, and they tell me like what they've used it for, and like someone we know used it to create like wedding collections.
Huh?
Like help me create pricing
luxury,
for something.
Yeah.
And it'll create 3 collections for you, what
Yeah.
the pricing would be and like what would be involved
what's
in each
included,
collection.
and it actually did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else we know like will take like an Instagram post that they tagged all the vendors and tell it to make a blog post out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does it for them, and they just go in there and tweak it. So these are things that are speeding up your ordinary workflows if you're using it right, which is kind of cool.
But I wonder, what's the percentage of people who are using this as a tool to help them be more efficient, and people who are doing this because they're lazy. They just don't want to do any work at all.
Yeah.
Plenty of people, I'm sure, using it as a workaround.
Probably.
Yeah, that was my thing with ChatGPT. I'm like, so are like kids using this for their homework now? Are they, or business owners using it to just create things and then just like posting it, not even double checking what this AI put together for them?
Yeah, but you can tell though, if you look at an essay written by a robot and one written by a human, you can tell. At least I can tell. You know, when you're reading it, there's no heart in the in the copy.
It's supposed to be pulling information from like
it's like I am a robot.
The internet.
I have feelings.
It's supposed to pull information that's out there and piece it together. So as a teacher, you can probably take a paragraph, paste that into Google maybe, and you'll probably find.
Actually, I think college professors, and I think they had this technology maybe even 15, 20 years ago, where they could take a passage. If they believe that the student didn't write that, they could take that passage. Actually, they might even be able to take the whole paper, upload it onto some type of service where they can see if maybe even another student wrote something like that, or whatever, But I think there might be markers in the whatever ChatGPT pulls up that tell you whether or not this was generated, because Google already knows when you're using
that's what I'm saying. Like
copy.
it's just piecing together all this information for you from the internet.
Will Google penalize your website if it can tell the copy was pulled from somewhere?
Yeah, from what I've been reading, and if it hasn't, it's going to penalize you.
I have a special guest that we can invite. They already said yes, they're going to come on board to help us talk about this stuff because these two, I guess I'll just shout them out here, Corey and Dylan from Fuel Your Photos. They are SEO wizards. and they feel very strongly about this topic.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. And I think they have the data to back it up as well. You know, like the content that's being generated from AI by AI and people putting it on their websites and stuff. It might rank for a short while, but then Google catches on.
That's good.
And your results are not going to be as good as you think they are going to be.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my. I don't know if it comes from a place of ignorance, not really knowing AI, but that's definitely one of my fears of AI becoming so rampant and blurring the lines of reality and people working around the system and cheating things, and I don't know.
Well, cheaters never prosper.
Yes, exactly. A place of, I don't know, blurred lines.
Or even like people are creating like, let's say, education platforms.
Using AI?
Yeah, you using
AI.
AI.
I mean, technically, am I using AI for my...
No, but like, that's fine. But what if someone is like...
Oh, I have
creating a full course.
Right, a whole course and selling that or something like that,
You're right.
It's going to happen. I'm sure if it's not already.
It hasn't happened already.
I mean, we've seen, not going to say names, but we've seen photographers promote their work from imagery that they created through Midjourney.
Right. And it's so obvious.
Label the photos as like, I did this destination wedding. This is the photos from this.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
This is from the photos from that. And it's like, it's clear. Like, we are more educated and we're able to tell the difference. And like, this is clearly AI.
Right.
But people like our clientele.
It's like they don't know there's 7 fingers on that hand.
Right. And if you go on the person's Instagram, it's all this like different editing.
Nothing like it.
Everything is shot wide, and now you have this beautiful compressed image.
Yeah.
Like that's
with all this compression and all this bokeh-licious.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just our industry. I think across the board too, on all creatives, of the fear of what could come out of
commercial photographers.
I mean, do you think we have anything to worry about with AI?
For us,
No,
I don't think
not
so.
for weddings.
Not for weddings. It's more
commercial stuff.
Commercial stuff for.
I saw some of this commercial work. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like conceptually, like to pull that off, a commercial photographer could pull it off, and it would probably cost $100,000, right? Mm-hmm. But AI could do it for what, $10 a month?
Like let's say before AI, you'll have to fly all these models or whoever you're using all over the world to, let's say whatever campaign, it's a campaign that you want to shoot all over Europe. You know how much that's going to cost for flights and permits and hours
you
of
do all
labor.
that for $10 a month?
Right.
And 10 minutes on your computer.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So that's going to cut into that market.
But I would say even for wedding photos, depending on what kind of photography those clients are looking for. Because I don't know if you guys remember, Lenza did a thing, and I think I showed you guys. You guys have seen some of these pictures before, like where you upload a picture of your face. And then AI, they'll create like, I don't know, 20 AI pictures of you or 50 or whatever, right?
From different times.
So, and I think Midjourney has this capability too. You upload your own picture and they can create avatars of you, right? Mm-hmm. So like in the wedding photography space, I imagine that can't be far off, where you just upload you and your spouse's picture and then they'll put you in Bali next to an elephant or something.
And it's also a very sensitive topic as well, like as when you're producing or having the AI produce that type of imagery, it doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to the photographer.
Right.
Doesn't belong to the client. You can't copyright AI produced work.
Someone could just come in, screen cap or screen grab, or just pull your image and just do whatever they want to it. Mm-hmm. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Do you know how many old couples dancing in the rain and with pastel colors are out there? Every time I hop into Midjourney to do my work, and try to like create images, you know how many people have that palette, color palette figured out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like a shitload of old people dancing in the rain pictures in those colors. God. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
So like,
true.
Even if you're the originator or that type of look, that's not going to be yours forever.
Forever, no.
Someone can copy you just like that. There's nothing you could do about it. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Such a crazy time that we're in.
Yeah. It's very, very
Why are you guys
strange.
so quiet all of a sudden?
No, you know what? Like, I embrace all this stuff. Like, we have to figure out how we can use this.
So you guys are using After Shooting Imagine right now?
For calling and editing, yeah.
Yes. What are you using each platform for right now?
Well, at the moment, we have 3 brands. I have a brand, Karis has her brand, and we have our associate brand, right? So because of the volume of our work, we did buy into Aftershoot's founders deal that they had going on, the little promotion that they had going on. But in all honesty, we use both platforms, Imagine AI and Aftershoot. When they first came out, both of them, they had their lanes that they were primarily in. So Aftershoot with culling and then Imagine AI with editing. That's been our workflow for, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years at this point. That's about how long they've been out in the market, right? About 2-3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they first came out into the scene, we used both of them, and then that's been our workflow for that long, for about 2-3 years. We've been using both companies. They're both represented by great people. I have no problems, no trouble with any of them.
Yeah.
So even to this day, right now, we're using Aftershoot for their culling and Imagine AI for their editing. But I think they're beta testing the other side of the post-production workflow. I think Aftershoot with editing and then Imagine AI with the culling. They're still beta testing that part of the workflow. So we're still trying things out right now, but right now we're still kind of using the workflow that we have right now, the same one that we've been using for the past 2-3 years, until they get out of beta, right?
I think Aftershoot's out of beta already.
Are they out of beta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, my editor takes care of everything. I in some ways, I don't really care how the sausage is made. The sausage just has to be made, right?
Right.
And the end product, when it gets to my desk, that's what I care about. Okay. So really, at the end of the day, it's like, which software is going to make my life easiest, or rather make my editor's life the easiest.
Easiest, yeah.
So I got to wait until I get some feedback from them. That's all, because, we don't want to provide an unfair assessment on something that we haven't really, tested out for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Aftershoot, we've had 2-3 years to test that out. Same thing with Imagine AI with their editing. We've had 2-3 years to use that software. So we can speak very clearly on that. But the new stuff that they're rolling out, or the newer features that they're rolling out, I can't speak on that 100% just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've been using both.
Have you guys how about you guys? You guys been using both?
Yeah.
So similar to you, we did for the prior to this year, we were doing Aftershoot for culling, and then Ro was using Imagine for editing. And then
I stopped using it
yeah,
November of last year.
yeah.
Imagine.
Once Aftershoot started rolling out their beta for editing, and the price helped kind of
Not only that,
figure that out.
it was more of keeping everything in one platform.
Yeah,
place.
one platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that nice cost effectiveness definitely made the decision a lot easier. And I think you were having some issues with Imagine, but it was working effectively for you.
It was. It was I feel like they might have an upper edge right now because they've been
Doing it for so long.
they've been doing it a little bit longer. But Aftershoot is getting there. But with every update,
This gets better.
yeah, there's
That's the whole point.
certain issues that I'll contact support about, and the next update it's resolved. So it's getting better, and I'm seeing my edits are more consistent as they keep tweaking it, and so they're working hard on it. And it's just like Jen said, the cost factor. It was 1/10.
It's flat. It's a flat rate
of the
Unlimited
price.
edits.
And you know what? At the time when the beta was first released, it was taking me more time to edit after I was getting it back. But the cost savings was so drastic that I was just like, you know what? I'll just, I'll spend a little bit extra time.
Yeah, and putting the faith that it'll get better.
Yeah, and it
The
has.
longer
I
you
have
go.
faith both. Yeah, both those companies will get better over time. At the end of the day, there's really just two things that I think most studio owners and most photographers are going to be concerned about, right? One is going to be cost. The second one is how close can you get me to 100%? Okay? Because if it's going to get me closer to 100%, but it's going to cost me a little bit more, I'm willing to pay a little bit
A little
more.
extra, yeah.
Right?
True.
It's for the same reason why I'm okay still having a human edit my photos. It's going to cost me a little bit more, but it's going to get me closer to 100. So I'll give you an example, right? During the pandemic, when we were a little bit slower, I could easily edit everything myself. I just put everything through AI. It comes back to me about 70%, right? I pay not a lot at all, right? I pay our editor a lot of money to get us to 99%. You know what I mean? But like for me, when she gets it back to me at 99%, I spend maybe 30 minutes with it and then it goes out the door, right? But when it comes back to me at 70% from AI, I spend maybe 2 hours with it, 3 hours. maybe a little more. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm spending about like 3 to 6 hours.
yeah. That's a good range, about 3 to 6 hours, right? But we're talking about maybe a tenth of the cost compared to a human editor.
Yeah.
You know, instead of spending 300 to 400, I'm spending maybe 30 to $50.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it comes down to, all right, well, how much is my time worth?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I give it to a human editor, I only have to spend 30 minutes with it. I can get those 5-6 hours back. I can do other things with that 5 or 6 hours. All right. But on the other hand, let's say you are very price sensitive, or maybe you run a volume studio, right? Those cost savings do add up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say if I'm doing 100 weddings a year, flat rate starts looking very attractive. Right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if the studio owner or the editors, they can use their time a little bit more wisely, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to spend the 5 or 6 hours after they get it back from AI, to work on it, right? Then it might be worth it to get an AI or use an AI program that's going to get them closer to 100%. So they can use their time more efficiently, do other things.
And I think some people might listen to this and be like, you guys still spent 6 hours? I just want to be clear. People are very specific about their work.
Some people are a little OCD about certain things.
Some people are a little OCD about their images. So yes, we are still putting in time, but we've heard of many photographers that use the softwares and don't spend as much time afterwards. But we're comparing to our workflow in the past, and it's been a drastic improvement.
I feel like they have more people that can send a catalog through AI and get it back and deliver it. They're compromising some quality, but also their editing style has to be a little bit more simple.
Right.
I feel like, I'm not saying my editing style is crazy or drastic, but I spend a lot of time tweaking shadows. I spend a lot of time tweaking color.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's going to see color the way you want, and not even the AI. So I do spend time because I'm very huge on having everything consistent. I want everything to be consistent across the board. So I spend a lot of time, cross-checking, making sure Jen's images match my images and all the lighting scenarios are the same. It does help a lot that AI, can use a starting point and get you there. It does help, but it's just, part of that is like letting go. You have to let go of some type of quality in that process. And so as of now, I'm not okay with letting go completely.
Yeah, there is a celebrity photographer in my life who told me that, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace. We are a little bit harder on ourselves, and we want things a certain way. But at the end of the day, the clients are not really going to know the difference. They can't really tell. They won't be able to tell the difference. So that's why they're okay letting the galleries go at 85 or 90%.
Yeah. My thing is the straightening features too on both platforms. It's just it's not there yet. I'm not sure what metrics they use for their straightening feature, but obviously, if you're shooting in the beach, you want the horizon to be straight. That's simple. But I straighten according to the subject most of the time. And then some stuff I get back on, I'm just like, what the hell did this thing use to straighten? Like, was the AI drunk?
It made it straighten just to get that penny off of you. A penny times 100 or 1,000, that's money.
Yeah. And it'll probably be a good test one day just to just take a wedding and just deliver it.
Let's see what happens.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about a wedding. Maybe a session.
People paying you a lot of money to get that shit
right. No. It's just maybe letting go of the smaller things that you stress about.
Oh, so like reception, for instance.
Yeah, that stuff you can let some stuff slide. But I do a lot of brush work, adjustment brush work, a lot of spot healing, all that stuff. So that's where I spend a lot of my time when I get it back from AI. And then I spend maybe 30 minutes converting everything to black and white.
What I would love for AI to get to the point to where it'll edit a wedding for you, right? You get it back and you tell it, all right, I'm going to select these 100 images that were underexposed. And you tell the AI just to brighten up these, a tad bit, like brighten up these 100 images that I flagged. Or you get it back and you say, all right, my white balance is a little bit warm overall. Can you edit, send it back and say, all right, just go 500 Kelvin cooler. I wish we could tweak our profiles as we're reviewing the our catalogs or whatever. Now it's basically all right, you send it out, it comes back, you tweak it, you upload it back to your profile and hope that it's gonna stay consistent or get better. Sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes as you're going, the profile is getting worse.
Yeah. the AI just needs to figure out what your intent is. And I think, some programs are better than others to figure out what the photographer's intent is. I know at least with my editor, my human editor, she knows what my intent is. If I'm trying to make a silhouette or if I'm really underexposed.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually I'm trying to make a silhouette. Listen, I've been doing this 13 years, all right? I don't underexpose to the point where it looks like a silhouette.
I'll tell you what, when I was using an editing company that were using actual editors, they never left my silhouettes the way they were. They
just brighten them up?
Oh
Yeah.
my God. So
But
bad.
you didn't know that this was a silhouette?
Exactly. So it's just like now it's making me think, were they using an AI back then that we probably didn't know about?
I'm sure there might be some editing companies now that are
Using
are
AI. There's only way.
to advance their workflow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's common sense. Like if you're a photographer and you see a silhouette, like it's pretty obvious. Why is it that every time I sent them a catalog that had a silhouette, it came back overexposed? I think only an AI would do that, and it's still doing it now.
I was using a human, also shall remain nameless, right? I was using an editing company, I don't know, almost 10 years ago. This is before AI. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So they were overexposing my silhouettes.
So
It might be because it's not. I don't think it's photographers.
Oh, yeah. They probably
editing.
just train people just to
Train
edit.
people or they're graphic designer. They're in that world, but they don't know what
It's
your
like, oh my
intent
God,
was.
this photographer messed up.
Yeah.
Expose the whole damn thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get it back, and the groom's jacket is all noisy and grainy. It's like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, or the temperatures all kinds of wacky and whatnot.
Yeah,
so.
that was my biggest pet peeve. Like, I tried a few editing companies, and I feel like, honestly speaking, the AI is like just good as
just as good as a human or beginner editor.
as a company that specializes in editing, not a personal like in-house editor.
Cheaper too, man.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So cheaper.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
we
what we
spent thousands of
spent?
dollars every year.
It was how much?
Thousands of dollars.
I think maybe one year was like 10,000.
Yeah, I for the human editing company 10 years ago, it was like $300 a job, $300 to $400 a job.
Right. Yeah, it was about anywhere between 20 cents to about 28 cents an
Yeah,
image.
and now you can do it for a fraction of that.
Yeah.
Fraction.
Yeah.
And you get it back quicker. With these humans, right?
Yeah.
With these human editing companies and stuff, you'd be lucky if you get it back within a week.
Does Imagine still need to be connected to like the internet to be able to edit? Like,
That's
to
an
the server?
editor question.
Yeah, because that's one thing that I like about Aftershoot is that you don't need to be connected to the internet for the
Because
for it to
the
edit.
program is to edit too. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the program runs independently on the
Right.
machine.
So that's one thing that I love about it. Like especially when we travel, I could just like download my images and just run it through Aftershoot right away. Even though I don't go back to tweak it, it's still in my catalog edited already.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, all those companies that folded during the pandemic because they couldn't get the work out fast enough, right? I'm wondering why didn't they just use AI?
AI. Yeah.
Is they saying, oh, it was just too much work, it got too out of hand and I couldn't deliver it on time. And
That was crazy. Like I was a company that we used to get back stuff in like 5-7 days. They were quoting me like 4-5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like
It was that flood when everybody started
I
working
was like,
again.
I can edit this faster than that. So I just like held on to it. Then that's when AI was introduced to us. But it saved us during a peak time. And everyone got their photos on time.
Yeah, AI has really, really, really helped us like condense our delivery time. We've been doing this 13 years now. On contract, we say about 4 months for delivery, right? But for as long as we've been doing this, it's usually been about 2.5 months.
Yeah.
AI has helped us get that down to under a month.
Nice.
I don't know about you guys.
We're
With our
still-
volume,
we're still
it's
a
like
little
it's crazy.
slower.
Well, we've been away, so
Excuses.
that's different. But
A little
yeah,
slower.
like they say, when we're home, and we're about in a 3 to 5 week range.
Uh-huh.
A lot of it is like, it depends on the time of the year, but typically we try to stay within 4 to 5 weeks.
What we do really quickly is run everything through AI.
Yeah.
And then what takes a little bit longer is when Ro gets to it. But so like shoot a wedding, come home, dump the cards. I'm leaving it culling on Aftershoot that night or the next morning, called, and then within a few days I sit and do my round of culling. And then it goes to him.
It's already edited when you're culling?
No.
Oh.
And then it goes to him and then he'll run it through edits
Yeah, so
while he's editing something else.
I have weddings that have been in my Lightroom catalog that I need to review. They've been edited for weeks now.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just got back from Italy
Yeah,
like
so
a week ago.
it's more of having the time to sit down and going through it. But it's part of the workflow now. I kind of like that because like before it's like, oh, always that fear of like losing something, like even though we back everything up, I kind of like having my Lightroom catalog as another source of backup because now I have smart previews built less than a week of the wedding. So let's say worst case scenario, I lose everything. I can still, print stuff off of smart previews. If I, let's say
they're just not getting a
Yeah.
16 by 24. No, everything's backed up in other places.
Yeah, but also what it does help me do is I categorize everything, and now I'm not holding on to memory cards as long as I used to with people's.
do you hold on to memory cards that you deliver?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
typically, yeah. So now it's like sometimes those memory cards are sitting for 4 to 8 weeks, but now that I've imported it into Lightroom and I've just kind of just glanced at it, I know that we have everything there, so I can delete. If I need if I need cards, I could just start deleting from oldest to newest. But
but everything, the RAWs are backed up in other places anyway. So
What kind of
It's
cards
just-
do your cameras use? The Z62s?
they use CF Express and SD cards.
SDs are cheap, but CF
Of course,
well,
they're
those are
like
expensive.
now
The Express,
a
yeah.
128 is like $20.
Mhm.
That used to be $60.
Yeah, SD cards are cheap, but the CF Expresses those are expensive. Because
They've
I know
gotten-
Karis has
They've
them.
gotten cheaper, really
yeah?
cheap. The first CF Express that I bought cost me $250, and
Oof.
the last two cost me $199. Now they're $149.
Still, you keep in all these cards until you deliver. That means you got a shitload of those cards.
Oh, we have so many SD cards.
No,
SDs, not
we
CFs.
keep them on the SD cards, not on the CF.
I was going to
Express.
say, okay.
CF Express gets wiped out. If we have a wedding the next day, it's getting wiped out.
Are you doing RAWs and double RAWs or RAWs and JPEGs?
Double RAWs.
Double RAW.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like we have the SD as a backup. We know that it was transferred into our cloud. It's in our RAID. It's on our backup. So it's like four backups
This
of
could be
it.
like a whole new episode.
Oh
about
my
the
god, yeah, on
workflows.
backups and
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like the way that we do it's not the most best way. It's the way
It's
that
your way. Who cares?
Right. It's ways that we've been doing it for a long time. There are better ways. Like for example, Jenn manually copies over what we have on the RAID onto our external. That's a copy of our RAID. She manually does that. There's programs that can carbon copy.
Yeah, carbon copy cloner. I use that.
As soon as you add into that RAID, it'll copy it into your. We don't go as far as like doing automations. Like she just, just cut.
Take 2 seconds.
right.
Yeah, she just manually
As long as
copies
backed
it
up, I don't
over.
care.
So
Okay, boomer.
what I'm trying to say is that there's ways that we can improve in our workflow, but
But AI has
now-
helped a lot with that workflow.
yeah.
Do you know, I the way that I do my workflow, according to Memes for Togs, I'm a sociopath.
Which one was that one?
Photographers who write to RAWs and JPEGs at the same time, right? And apparently I wasn't the only one, right?
Wait, what do you mean? You write to?
I don't write double RAWs. I do RAWs and JPEGs.
Why?
And the reason for that is because I have unlimited storage.
On
SmugMug.
Zenfolio?
I got unlimited JPEG storage. So those are technically my RAWs. They're JPEGs, but they're RAWs. But my exposures are pretty close anyway. So
Yeah, but I don't see the point in that. If you're saving, are you saving the RAWs at all?
yes.
Okay, so
Well,
you just double save it.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. There's two reasons, right? So the first one is, yes, I am saving the RAWs, but just in case I lose the RAWs, I still have the JPEGs. Okay.
Okay.
All right. In case I lose that, because that has happened before, where I lost the RAWs, and I still had this backup online on SmugMug, and I have unlimited storage there. Okay. The second reason is for me to make sure that when I'm copying the RAWs and the JPEGs, it allows me to kind of check the numbers to make sure that they match up. Because if I had a RAW folder and another RAW folder, like I don't know which one's which, and I'm not going to know which one is short. You know what I mean?
How are you ingesting from the camera? Like when you come home?
Just like just drag and drop the
no,
folders.
that's why. That's why. If you ingest from Photo Mechanic, it takes everything from the folders and puts it into wherever directory you want.
Oh.
So what happens is there's room for mistake there. Like, and
What
it's,
I'm doing, the way
it's
I'm
happened
doing
to
it?
Jenn. The way you're doing it, if you miss a folder,
I'm not going to miss a folder.
well,
Because
you
I'm telling
can
you
though.
why. No,
you
I'm telling
can.
you why. Let me tell you why. Because before I copy it into a master folder for the project. And by the way, I don't think you guys do it this way because you have a master catalog,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I don't have a master catalog. I have a project folder
For each shop.
for each job. And I'm going to put all the raws into that project folder, and then all the JPEGs into a separate folder. And then I compare the numbers for each folder and to make sure they match up. If they didn't match up, that means I missed the folder. Or I
Right.
missed the file.
And has that happened to you?
Not at that
you missed
part.
the folder.
No, not at that part of the because
Okay.
I check the numbers before I copy that onto Jeannie's computer, my editor's computer. I make sure everything's okay, and then I back that master folder that I have on my desktop. It goes into like 5 different places, and then those JPEGs go online.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the most ideal setup either.
No.
But and some people are like, yeah, I don't know, man. That seems like a lot of extra work for.
It's not that it's extra work. It's just like if you're backing up the raws, you don't have to do the JPEG part. But you're still doing it. Like even if you have raws, for example, like if you have the raws, you're gonna back those up in a few places. So it's the same. It's the same thing.
I need to have cloud backup because just in case the house burns down, I need to have another place to back up the raws.
So you don't have but besides.
I don't have backblaze.
Okay, so that's why you're doing this. That's why it works for you.
If I have backblaze, but that's another subscription.
You already have a Midjourney subscription.
Hey, that's $10 a month. I'm getting my money's worth out of that. Backblaze. If I got the JPEG backups, and I've only ever had to go to the JPEG backups like maybe 2 or 3 times in my career, but that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And the reason why, let me tell you why. It wasn't because I forgot to copy over the RAWs. It's because I shot in, I think either JPEG only or double JPEG by accident, and I didn't get the RAWs. So that was my bad. I think part of the reason maybe like only one card slot had a card and the other one didn't. I don't know. So I did something where I didn't have RAWs.
That's happened to me like one time. The 750s were notorious for that. For switching over to JPEG.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Well, as long as you're close in your exposure, I mean, you're okay.
Yeah.
The exposure and your white balance, as long as you're close, I think you're okay.
You just have to edit those pictures separately because your typical preset for a RAW file will not look good on a JPEG. Yeah.
I think there are 2 very well-known photographers, at least in that I know of. They shoot JPEG only.
Do you think they still do it?
Yeah, they do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they'll talk about it too. Yeah, they'll talk about it. They'll talk it years off. Like, this is why JPEG is superior.
I know with a lot of like on-demand work, like, sports photographers and anyone that covers like events, they have to get that stuff out to
quickly. Yeah.
Quick,
so they, that I understand. Just for weddings, and that's okay too. I guess like if you're exposing properly, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just more
control, creative control.
A little bit. It's like a fuse. You have a bigger tolerance to screw up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're shooting manual and you're exposed for one scene and there's like somebody crying behind you, and you turn and you take a picture and they're just dark. You underexposed by 10 stops. You can actually recover that or try to recover that. A JPEG, you're toast. You're not going to be able to bring that back up.
I shoot on aperture priority.
I tried that years ago.
I trying to shoot manual.
I tried.
I'm kidding. I shoot full manual.
Yeah. You know what? That's another thing. I can't trust the
aperture priority.
Yeah, I can't trust the computer on the camera
to
do a good job. And yes, I know there's like ways for the export with the metering, and it's just no. I don't have the time to get.
I only use aperture priority when it's the lighting changes on the path. Of usually for procession, that's when I use it.
Or like first look when they're walking towards each other or something.
Yeah, and it's spotty lighting. Sometimes they're in the light, sometimes they're in the dark or whatever. So that's when I use aperture priority. But most of the time, it's especially with mirrorless right now, with everything's live view, I can change it on the go.
Yep, that's what I do.
Back in the day, before I was able to do live view exposures and stuff like that, I would actually have to learn how to use my meter properly inside the camera. But we've gotten really lazy with technology.
Oh yeah, like live view has come a long way compared to like the live view of my like D700.
700 didn't have live view. I can tell you that for sure.
No, it did.
No, it didn't. I have it right here.
Go grab it. It has live view.
It has live view, but you can't do live exposure.
You can't do anything with it. Yeah, it's just to see.
Yeah, it's just to see, but you can't do shit with it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and then I think the D750 was like D750, the 800.
The 800 had it.
It was still terrible, but it was better. And then the 750 was like game changing, and then it's only getting better and better and better, which is great. now, like someone just asked me, "Do you ever use the viewfinder?" I was like, "It's very rare. Like if I almost never use the viewfinder on a mirrorless camera.
It's also this back screen. Right?
No, honestly, my angles are a lot lower than what they used to be.
I also don't trust the viewfinder. It's not accurate with the exposure with what you're seeing on the EVF. There's ways to calibrate that, but I'm just like, no, it's just easier.
And with the mirrorless, is a lot of what AI was definitely brought in to help with because
with the auto AI like autofocus.
No, I mean, well, for the post processing work.
Oh
like
yeah.
culling.
It's
oh
a lot,
my god, yes.
It's a lot easier to shoot 10, 20 frames,
especially for Rolando who shoots like 10,000 frames a wedding.
You know what? You're talking about me, but you've been overshooting every wedding lately.
More moments and things.
Are we watching a domestic
like
dispute going on here in front of me?
So
20 of the same family formal, you'll just see his finger go. I'm like, you got it already.
Why not? Somebody's gonna blink.
Somebody's gonna be blinking.
But that's why, thank God,
Yeah.
for culling softwares because it gets rid of all the extra crap that Ro gives me.
Perfect example. All right. So one of the most recent weddings that we just finished, I took 3 pictures for this family combination. I never do that. I always do at least 5, 6, but I was conscious of someone hovering over me. Right? So AI pulls in, after shoot, called in a blurry family shot.
Oh no.
I said, okay, cool, no worries. Let me go back to find the focus one. I go find the one that's in focus, and there's a person in who looks terrible. They're making a horrible expression, and it's the only photo I have of them. So now I had to. Luckily, he was in another family shot, so I did a head swap.
Oh my god!
But if I would have shot 5, 10 images,
you wouldn't have that problem.
Exactly. But now I have somebody here who's.
And Jen, I don't know why you're complaining. I don't know why you're complaining. You got AI to do this for you.
Who thinks we're paying for film?
That's why I'm saying thank God for these culling softwares to get rid of all the crap.
Yeah, and also both my cameras are set on low. They shoot 3 or 4 frames per second.
That's
yeah. So that's pretty low. But now that Jen has been doing more of like bride prep alone lately, so now she's taking over that aspect. So that's one of the portions of the day that I overshot. So now you're overshooting bride prep.
Yes.
Not me.
Well, you're coming in at what, 25, 3,000?
Yeah.
She shot 4,000 images the last wedding.
10-hour day?
Because it was a lot. No, also
4,000, that's actually on the higher side for a second shooter.
That's on one body. I'm shooting with 2 bodies.
Doesn't matter. It's one body, 2 bodies.
You have a camera in your hand for the same amount of time.
Doesn't matter. She's not going to shoot both at the same time.
No, so what I usually do is I like to take breaks during the reception.
Oh, do you now?
I take very long breaks during the reception. So I always have less.
Please don't.
But the last couple of weddings, I've been...
have clients who listen to this.
No, but there's somebody in the dance floor, which is you.
Yeah, it's always me.
We don't need 2 people for dancing.
We have video evidence of Jen hiding in the broom closet.
He has in the Ketel roll videos him finding me in different rooms and venues.
I have a whole collection
of Jen just hiding from work on the wedding day.
But the last few times I've been more in the receptions. That meant more images, obviously.
Yeah, you've been shooting more reception lately.
Yeah, thank you very much.
She's going to have a Hey Jen before you know it.
Exactly. No, but I think it definitely helped in that aspect. So, for example, we come home with 9,000 images, I guess. It'll bring us down to about 3.
And then you have to bring it down a little bit more.
I take like another hour and I bring it down to 1,100 probably, and then let Ro.
No, you do not bring it down to 1,100. She gives me about 15.
Sometimes depends on the wedding. Depends on the wedding.
14 to 1,800.
Depends on the
then I have to
wedding.
You call that as your editing.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because now
listen,
that's adding another hour.
But if you guys got flat rate editing, that don't matter.
Exactly.
Right? Just call as you go on.
That's exactly what I do because by the time I get to it, it's already edited. So
yeah, but it takes me about an hour from my call. And that was the thing when calling first came out, and it was like everyone was like so against it, like. No, there's no way.
How could you let a computer tell you what picture's good?
You have to let a human eye to it, which is fine. The software, you can go back and look at what it's done and look at what was removed. We did have a lot of trouble with after shoot in the beginning.
Yeah, we did too. The AI was racist.
You guys were in the closed eye section.
Yeah, we were in a closed eye department, you know? What the hell, man?
But it's gotten better. Before it got better, we were joking with Justin about how he almost got divorced off of when I would give Ro the images and he'd remember stuff that was like maybe a better version of this portrait that he took, and he would go back and pull. I mean, it was a slight difference, nothing crazy.
What it was selecting
It was garbage.
So we would fight about it, and I would say whatever. Like
there was
it's fine.
no, there was one wedding where it did such a bad job. Like and there was one image that I remembered that I shot. And during that time that I went to go back, I found so much good stuff that it culled out. And what happened was there was like an update. Something went wrong during that update that made it, make such bad decisions. But, we spoke to them in Vegas. They told us to download the new update, and it actually fixed that issue. Now it's more of like preference. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I do go back, of course I'll find an image that was better from one set. But if that's the whole thing, is like you have to let go a little bit.
There's always going to be some type of sacrifice, something that you're going to exchange for that convenience.
Yeah.
And like I would say 95% of the time, for example, like if you take that hero shot, you're gonna remember. You're gonna remember that one shot that you took that day for that wedding or engagement session. That one shot that you were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And if that gets called out, you'll remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my human editor calls out stuff too. I'm like, "Why did you pick this one, man?" Like,
do they always do the culling and for you guys?
Yeah, they do culling and editing.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes they pick the weird pictures too. But I mean, anytime you offload your work to somebody else, no one's going to do it exactly the way that you want to do it, or you're going to do it.
And it's such a personal thing that,
Yeah. It's all like if you put 10 people to call,
they're going to give you 10 different things.
And I took it on because Mr. Picky, if he called, it would take him literally the entire day. It would take him the entire day.
And you're ruthless. We know you're ruthless.
Yeah. There's some times where I question her selections too.
But yo, you got to stay in your lane.
You gotta stay in your lane, let it go.
Exactly.
Just let it go.
Unless it's like blatant, like obvious, and I'll show her, and she'll be like, "Oh my God." Yeah.
What happens is I've gotten so used to the software that I move a little bit quicker now, and like I might forget to delete something because I'm tapping the next button, pressing X whenever I want to delete. Sometimes I'll just tap next too fast and skip what I wanted to delete.
Yeah,
and
I'll
then he'll
ask
get
her.
it.
I'm like, "Is there a reason you kept this?" No, boom, delete.
Yeah.
Are
it
you
was an
doing the
accident.
second round in after shoot, or are you doing the second round in photo mechanic?
After shoot. Because it'll keep learning. I used to do it
The second
into
round
photo mechanic.
Photo mechanic. Okay.
And they were like, why would you do that?
Yeah, don't do that.
You're not training the AI at that point. You
Yeah, I
have
gotta
to
learn- I
it has
gotta-
to learn how you're doing it.
I gotta see how you do it, because it's too confusing for me. They're flagging. There's like 5 different flags, and like I'm like, what the fuck am I looking
your
at?
setting. You do that.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it flags it, but I just go into the selected folder and call from that. But if you want to switch over to the like
I want to look at the
Like
rejects.
close eyes or
Close eyes, you
rejects,
gotta
then
go
you have to go in
individually.
there. I don't go in there.
I have to go in there
I don't go in
because just in case, because I
It's
have a
like-
lot of Asian clients, so I got to make sure they didn't come.
Right.
You know,
And you're, like,
just because
laughing, your eyes-
just because they're smiling a little too hard, their
Yeah.
eyes are not closed.
the
okay?
whole gallery's in there.
What the hell, man?
For me,
hell?
for me, I never go in there because I'm like, if I go in there, that's like the pit of like.
You're,
Yeah,
you're,
yeah,
you're
never
opening.
I'm like, I'm opening up a can of worms, and I'm just
open up
like,
Pandora's
I don't want
box.
to. I just
Yes,
never go
true
back.
that. Yep.
Like the other day, for engagement session, it called out the best silhouette that had like great movement. Everything was like you could actually see everybody's limbs. And I was just left with something that just showed like a blob. And I was just like, it's not gonna know. It's gonna just give you one of that series. But that's when those situations where you have to make sure you go in, select the right ones and stuff.
How was the transition for your editor to start using AI?
She's fast. She finishes the wedding,
She-
I
in
think,
a
a day, in a day, less
Yeah,
than a day.
less than a day. We have 2
She
editors
just came
now.
in like late afternoon, like 11. She just left, finished the wedding, she said.
So she finished the whole wedding, start to finish, 6 hours or less.
Yep, she runs curling, and then she curls second round. We usually do second round
pretty good.
Lightroom.
And she gets it to 99%.
And then she throws it back in for editing, and then
Did she like the transition into using it?
At first, she was a little doubtful. She was a little hesitant. She was a little hesitant about using AI. But
why not? It's much faster.
But she's able to do more work in less time. And that helps her bottom line as well. So what is there not to like? And it helps us to deliver quicker.
Yeah.
Everyone wins. You know what I mean? Literally everyone wins. And we've raised all our prices to accommodate all this stuff too. So I think we're okay. Everyone, yeah. Everyone wins. But yeah, that's how we use AI in our workflow.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're all doing around roughly the same thing.
What would you like to see from AI in the future?
What would I like to see AI? To understand my intent a little bit better. When I'm doing motion, what is it that I'm looking for? When I'm doing a walking shot, what are the key features that I'm looking for? Like I know that I tell my human editors when I'm doing a walking shot towards the camera, I need the legs to look like this.
Yeah. Those are certain things that I don't know if you can create something like that to really think like that.
Like, I'm sure you guys have done walking shots towards the camera, right?
Of course.
And you have to track with them, right?
Yeah,
and
there's certain ones that look terrible.
They're in various stages of walking, right? Some are definitely more flattering than others.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, how do you train the AI to know which one is the most flattering? You know what I mean?
You can't.
A human needs to do that.
Yeah. That's a human. Yep.
What other aspects?
I wish less photos uploaded to create a profile.
5,000, 85,000 images or something.
After shoots,
2,500.
As low as 500, I think.
Nope. It's like definitely over 2,000.
I saw 2,500, but I think they're gonna come out
smaller.
Yeah, it's not recommended though. That's what they tell you, but you
the more images, the more data they have, the better.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Like they technically you would think that, but I was told that sometimes it's not the ideal. Like sometimes too much is too much because you're uploading so many different types of scenarios and like good scenarios and bad scenarios that it's just going to find like a common ground. What they suggest is that you use your worst weddings. Yeah, like the worst challenging weddings as far as lighting. Use that to create a profile. And that should do a good job in any type of scenario, opposed to you using like the weddings where you feel like your editing was on par or like your best. Because technically everything went well for you that day. So how often is that going to happen? Right. So they recommend that you build profiles. And if you want to even go even further, build profiles for every scenario. So like you build a separate profile for prep using window light. You build a profile for reception lighting. And
how would curling then? How would you edit it? Like when you curl your photos, and you would have to like categorize like
in your catalog you would have to color code them and use that profile.
So this is for
and choose the flags or whatever color code and say all right, use this profile. So you have to keep going back in there and then keep editing it. I feel that's going to get better as time goes. They'll probably find a way to be able to tweak everything in one shot.
But I do think AI is here to stay. There's nothing to be worried about. At least, as long as you're using it as a tool to help you be more efficient. And I teach all my students to take full advantage of AI, whatever. It's just a tool that you have at your disposal now. And, anything that's going to help you save time, that'll allow you to have more time to do other things, focus on other areas of your business, like your sales and your marketing or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
And using it responsibly. Not
don't go fooling people and thinking that you shot those images when you...
That's the verdict.
Yeah,
that's the verdict.
Just use it as a tool to enhance your workflow. And
if it's like AI art, just say it's AI art, Like, don't be like real people.
I shot this this wedding in Italy last week.
We're going to take Ben and Karis' face and say we shot their wedding in Italy. Their vow renewal.
in Portugal.
Dream wedding.
And you're going to see Ben with 7 fingers on Karis' face.
You guys ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah.
He has like the hot dog fingers and stuff.
Sausage fingers.
That movie was bizarre, man.
Well, it was supposed to be weird.
So good.
It was like, for me, it was hard to keep up with that time. Just like, what is going on?
There's so much weird. There's so much weirdness going on.
Weird,
All right. So we're all in agreement with AI. It's here to stay. Use it as a tool.
Don't misuse it.
Yeah, don't misuse it. It's here to stay, and everyone's cool.
Use it responsibly to, and I think the key is to use it to make time for you and yourself, and
it's
that's
for you to
pretty much the
leverage your
purpose
time.
of it.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
leverage your time a little bit
Leverage your
better.
time.
Shorten
You'll
the
have
work.
way more time to be focused AF.
That's right.
Wow, look what you
I
did
love
there.
that
You beat me to it.
transition. We're focused there.
All right, so here's a hot topic. Do you have a clause or something in your contract pertaining to reimbursement of parking and travel costs in the city? So this photographer, took a wedding, went to the city, and accrued $150, $200 in parking and tolls and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Should she charge the client that money?
She wants to charge after the fact?
Yeah, she wants to charge out. She wants to send an invoice. Hey, listen, it's $150.
Like extra.
Yeah, because
I think that's
no.
that person's fault for if you get an inquiry for a city wedding.
Yep, you prepare. It's like travel.
Yeah,
Charging
you
travel.
already should know that parking could be astronomical. Like what I know, some of us charge an additional fee to go into a city for a wedding. I think that fee should be included in the price, so that way you don't look like you're nickel and diamond a couple.
Yeah.
After the wedding, the last thing a couple wants to receive is an invoice after they just spent thousands of dollars on their wedding day.
Here's your
Yeah.
parking fee.
I think if you're trying to do it after the fact, it's too late. It's way too late at that point.
I remember there was a second shooter one time.
We had several.
Yeah, we had
second
one,
shooters.
we had a second shooter. I was like, hey, go get lunch, and there's a little downtime right now. Go get lunch right now, and I'll see you back here in 30 minutes or something, 45 minutes. She sent me an invoice for $16.95 or something for her sandwich. I was like, are you kidding me?
What?
She wanted reimbursement for her lunch.
What?
I was like, what? So I was like, all right, I'll pay you.
What
That's
kind
fine.
of work? What kind of
wait.
even
A 9 to
office job,
5 won't pay for your.
Pay for
Yeah,
your
no,
lunch?
no.
I was like, go get your lunch break. And she came back with an invoice, $16.95 for the lunch. I was like, what?
No, those are terms you need to agree on. I mean,
Did you pay for it?
Yeah, I paid it. I paid it. I was like, that was it. I'm never seeing you again.
She mailed it or something. Yeah, it was like
Shut up, you got an
it
invoice in
wasn't
the
even
mail?
that day or something.
Something.
So he sent her the money.
I sent you the money. And,
Hilarious.
for things like that, I'm not going to even argue with you.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
so
petty.
petty.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been in a scenario where I've second shot, and if I'm getting paid, let's say at the time, $50 an hour was just like your standard second shooter rate or whatever. I'm getting paid $500, and then my parking and tolls and all that stuff is like $100. Like, I could understand that, but as
Your own
the primary,
wedding.
your own gig, you should factor these add-ons automatically.
Yeah. We factor in travel with all of our packages, with our associates. It's already built into the pricing.
Yeah.
So our photographers don't even, I have to itemize it and let them know, hey, listen, you're getting $100 or whatever it is for your travel. You're getting your rate plus this travel. And if the session ends up being in your own backyard, then it's yours, whatever. Consider it a bonus, right? But it's already charged. Because otherwise, if I present it to them, hey, listen, this is your rate, they're going to ask for travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's broken apart. The client pay for their travel. And that's the way that we look at it ourselves. When we're pricing our own packages and stuff, it's already built into the price.
Just makes everything seamless. Like, last thing you want is, like I said, an extra invoice after the wedding.
Yeah. Especially for terms you didn't speak
That looks
about.
terrible.
So I think the first thing you have to do is, if you want to charge travel, or if
You knew you were going to the city when you
Right.
took the booking.
Right.
make sure it's in all your communications. It's going to cost X amount to go to the city or whatever the travel for your wedding, X amount for my hotel, food, whatever it is for the destination. All those terms need to be laid out in advance. You can't spring things on people.
The only time
afterwards.
that's extra on the client is if it's above and beyond what's normal, right? So we go into the city quite regularly, so I don't charge for gas, tolls, and parking, right? That's already included. But let's say the party's ending at 1 or 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, and it's like, super far. Like, let's say I have to go to Long Island, right? 2-3 hours away. Well, guess what? I'm asking for a hotel.
Yep.
Okay. And if it's 2-3 hours away, I might even ask for just a little bit more travel because I only accounted for an hour and a half of travel. Right?
That's what we do. Like, well, we have done in the past too. So sometimes, like you don't mind going out there. It's just just be mindful if it's 3 hours away, like just pay for the room and then we'll be fine.
Yeah. So usually during the consult, we tell the clients, hey, listen, this is our footprint. This is how far we travel, right? Anything outside of this circle, there's going to be a little bit more travel. That's all. Yeah, we once had a client who wanted like a session down to like Cape May. right? Yeah, Park Cape May is from us.
2.5, 3 hours forever.
And I was like, yo, you want us to travel 6-7 hours round trip for a 2-hour session? There's going to be a little travel involved, you know? And even sometimes our photographers are like, don't give me the travel. I don't even want to go down there. You know, it's like, you can pay me $1 million. It's still not trying to survive on the Garden State Parkway traffic in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
You know, for $200 worth of travel, you can't. That $200 not enough to
worth
cover
it
that.
at all.
The worst is when you don't want to go, you throw out whatever price and they pay it.
No, well, that's the worst, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the point? Just say no.
Yeah.
You throw out some crazy price they paid. Now you got to suck it up and go.
Yeah, now it's like, I don't want to go anyway. But at least now they pay for my time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like the way we treat it as well is like you're taking us away from our daily duties of being at home in our
Now we're stuck in
office.
a car
Yeah.
listening to the Focus Day
Yep.
podcast.
Right. You know, that 3-hour drive, I could have been editing. I could have been doing some housework. I could have, whatever it is, it just took me away from home for the whole day. So as long as they know that and have to pay for that, then I'm okay with it. I'll suck it up.
I mean, I do feel a little shitty, you know, a little bit. You know, I was like, yeah, it's like a 7-hour round trip. Can you like, just give me at least $250, you know, just for my time, gas tolls and time. And, you know, like sometimes they give a little resistance, but because they're already paying you a couple $1,000s to shoot their wedding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'll also be reasonable. Like we've driven 3 hours for engagement sessions. Then they compensated us, and they were grateful that we, took the time to drive to them.
The only times we haven't really was like if it's a new location that we've been really wanting to go to. Like I think our first time at Lake Minnewaska,
Ooh,
we didn't charge. Well, that was a free session because we wanted to go there. But
It's still
the first
free.
time we went to like Longwood, not this week, but the first time we didn't charge because we wanted to go there. We'd never been. It's when you go to the same place over and over and over again.
Central Park,
Yes.
Dumbo.
I like Central Park.
Nice change.
Chelsea,
So, like,
meatpacking.
I love
if that's where they
Central
want to
Park.
go, but like, yeah, more so because I know if I'm going to charge them, they might be like, no, let's go to Liberty State Park instead. And then I'm like,
Oh man,
so
again.
if I've never been there before, then I don't mind
I don't
it.
charge couples to go upstate. I no, very few people take me up on that offer, but I was like, listen, you guys want to go to Bear Mountain, Lake
Yeah, we don't charge for
Minnewaska?
Bear
Yeah, we don't
Mountain.
charge for Bear Mountain.
I was like, fuck yeah, I'll go up there.
It's a nice brewery nearby. So
Is there now?
Yeah, so whenever we get the chip, it doesn't happen often, but when we go to Bear Mountain, we always stop by after.
She wants to eat.
Yeah, I don't pay. I don't charge to go there. And also, what's the other one? Oh, Mohawk Mountain House. Have you guys ever been there?
We've never been.
That's far, man.
So
I heard
nice.
it's even further, no?
It's like
Yeah.
7 hours.
That
Oh
one,
no 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 no
that one needed
no,
a
no.
permit.
Maybe 2.5 3 hours. You need a permit.
Yeah.
But it's so nice
You're
up
not
there.
going there for
How much
free.
is the permit?
They just have to have dinner plans there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, either dinner reservation
think we
or,
can get that out
or
of it.
staying there. Yeah.
Yeah, either they have to be staying.
Got to engage
Engage
there.
there, yeah.
Either you have to stay there or you have a dinner plan there. That's the
Yeah.
only way you can get on site because it's a gated gated
Yeah.
property.
Oh.
So they like, well, do you have a reservation here? And then they'll check your
Yep,
reservation
they'll let you in.
and they'll let you in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Or you can get a permit, but why get the permit and get nothing, just pictures when you can just eat there?
Eat there. And most people make a date night out of their session anyway. They'll
Exactly.
Yeah.
get all dressed up.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's the verdict? Just, when it comes to travel, just build it into your price.
Build it in. It looks less sleazy.
Yeah,
Less petty and
Yeah.
like,
And if it's a location or area you want to be like marketing and you want to go
Yeah.
again, then like city, I wouldn't charge for travel, like city Brooklyn.
Only thing that I wouldn't invoice this to the clients. The clients have to take care of it themselves, like permits, like certain parks, certain like what is it? Where you guys are, Deep Cut Gardens. You need a permit there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. It's like $50, right?
50, 70 bucks,
Yeah.
something like that. Even Jersey Botanical Gardens, that's like $100 a year, whatever.
For like 10
Well, actually, I
visits.
pay that. That's
Yeah,
I can do that.
photographers have to pay that.
I can cover that, right?
Yeah, we have to pay that.
But for the Deep Cut Garden, $70 a shot, they can cover that.
They cover it,
Rutgers
yeah.
Gardens is like $100,
They
whatever.
don't
They can cover that.
allow the photographer to get the permit anyway.
No,
They
the
do.
client has
Deep
to do
cut?
it.
Deep cut?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
some parks. I can't remember, not
And
Deep
there's
Cut,
some
but-
parks in Monmouth County
Yeah.
where the client has to.
Monmouth University, the clients have to get it, and that's expensive.
They have to be an alumni. or
And
past
not only
alumni.
that, it's like it's like something ridiculous, like $250 or whatever it is. I'm like,
That's
oh
not
my
even
god,
that bad considering.
I should have charged you more, lady.
What's that place by Montclair?
Van Vleck.
That's like $400-500.
Yeah, Van
Yep,
Vleck's expensive, $400-500. Brooklyn Botanical Gardens
All
also
those-
$500.
All the what's the one in Long Island?
Planting Fields.
Planting Field's not
Planting
expensive.
Field,
That's
no, the
$75.
other
That
one.
one.
Westbury Gardens.
Westbury
Yes,
Gardens.
Oh, that one's expensive.
That's $500.
$400-500.
We got kicked out of there.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did you do?
We were doing a
With no
maternity
permit?
session.
Did you get a permit?
So we
Westbury,
happened
at Westbury
was-
Garden?
yeah, wasn't it Westbury Gardens?
No, that wasn't Westbury Gardens.
Oh,
That was north.
it was by the Bronx
Yeah.
somewhere. There's like this beautiful park right before you get to the Bronx.
Can't remember the name of it, but no, we have yet to go to
Cloisters?
Westbury.
No, it's like in a rural area. Like it's somewhere in the Bronx.
In Long Island? Oh, in Bronx?
Yeah, but it's like towards like big houses. Like you don't really see that.
In Yonkers?
Part of the Yonkers area.
It might have been like border. You got Yonkers.
Westchester's, Tarrytown, New Rochelle. New Rochelle has a lot of
One of those areas.
big
It
spaces.
was like this huge garden. Like it was beautiful, and it was like
Otamara Gardens is up there in
and
Yonkers.
was that it? Otamaya.
Otamara
Maybe.
Gardens is
It has like a wall. Like
there's walls.
like all around the park,
There's
like
gardens.
brick wall to
Yep.
keep it separate. Okay, so that was it. The
You need to be a
client,
resident to
the client said she spoke to somebody there, and then
Yeah.
when we
That's what she
got
said
there,
on the spot. I don't know how true
when we
it
got
was.
there, they were like, "Yeah, we don't know who you spoke to. You have to leave."
Well, while we're on the topic, let's talk about all the places we got kicked out of.
Kicked
You have
out
any
of
stories?
what's that museum of such a park?
Is there a museum?
Not a
in Central Park?
museum, the Conservatory Gardens.
Conservatory Gardens. You need a permit there.
They're
No,
quick
no, no,
there.
the museum where we went on the
garden?
steps and the security guard came right out.
Oh, the Met.
That's the Met.
Yeah, we
the Met.
got kicked out of there.
You got to work quickly.
Yeah, she came out. Security guard came out,
Yep.
and she was nice about it. She goes, "They're watching me on the camera. Take your last picture and leave." And she made believe like she was like,
Yeah.
she was nice
No,
about it.
you know what?
Yeah.
All of those
Yeah,
you
we can
can't.
say-
You can't.
we- we-
shoot.
you-
Why
you
can't
can't
say
shoot there
Met?
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't shoot there.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Yeah, all of those
Yeah,
places.
then I won't say that I got kicked out of there either. Or I shot there in secret before.
Yeah, so it was like during the pandemic. There was
I
nobody
know.
there,
Yeah.
and they just kicked
There's
us out.
another one where
Public library kicks
Yeah,
you out.
and
NYPL
NYPL.
inside. Oh my God, they already know my face. I can't show my face in there anymore.
And your photo, like,
No,
on
you
the
can shoot on the
security
steps.
desk.
If the security sees you, they'll.
No.
Yep.
I've heard. Wasn't it you that got kicked out of the steps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get kicked
Yeah.
out of a lot
Yeah,
of
but
If
places,
the
like-
man.
security sees you, they'll kick you out.
I've never been kicked out of the
Yeah.
steps. I've been.
We
no
did a
problem.
whole elopement on the steps.
Yeah.
It depends on how busy it is. But I've also got kicked out of the cloisters. It was so
yeah,
funny.
of course.
Oh yeah, they don't play over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I actually, do you know what I do?
Yeah.
I meet with the clients somewhere else off the property so they don't see me. I was like, listen,
We're
this is
all
what we're
going
going to
separately.
We're going to go in separately, number one.
Is it free?
It's free.
Donation. It's donation
Yeah,
based.
it's like Met.
So I tell them, hey, listen, this is my hand
They're
signal.
part of Met. That's why you can't get permit.
So this is what I do. When Karis used to come out to the engagement sessions with me, Karis and I will go on one side of the building room, and then the couple will be on the other side of the room, and I would pose with Karis, right?
They'll
Just do
follow.
what we do,
So
and they just follow
We won't
us.
like communicate.
We won't talk. We won't shout poses across the room, right?
like two mimes in a museum.
Exactly, like a mirror image. So I was like, okay, just go over there, and then I'll pose with Karis, and then we'll move.
And
on.
then they'll do it like.
And then I wish that mirrorlesses were
During
around
that
at the
time,
time.
yeah,
You know,
silent
so
shutters.
it's like
Super loud.
I'm shooting with Nikons, right? So like ka-chunk, 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 right? So like usually I'm good for about 15, 20 minutes before the security finds me, and then I get kicked out.
People like you guys get us kicked out of places.
Yeah, but usually this is what I tell them. This is what I tell the couples. Like, listen, if we get busted, just point to us, and Karis and I will just shrug and pretend we don't speak English. It's worked a couple times, so that's what we're going to keep doing. All right.
We've been kicked out of.
Where else have we gotten kicked out of? I've gotten kicked out of a lot of museums, train stations. Did you know I've got kicked out of Central Station, Grand Central Station,
Really?
and also the Hoboken
I
train
never had
station.
problems with Grand Central.
You're
we
not
only
allowed
went
to.
twice, and we went during COVID.
You can
so-
only number one, you can't have a tripod, but I don't usually shoot with a tripod. Number two, you can't use light stands or whatever. Number three, you can't be on the platforms. I was shooting on the platforms.
Oh no, we didn't go on the platform.
Yeah, we went on the platforms, so I got kicked out for that. But you shoot anywhere else on that property. Hoboken train station, same thing. You can't shoot on the platforms.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
shot there in the platforms with no problem.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you just got to do it quick.
Yeah.
If there's one thing,
I'm like 5-10 minutes, and I'm not. Oh, what about the station where the benches are? I shot
You
there.
go in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I shot there like discreetly, just in case,
no, you can shoot
because
it.
there was
there.
a security guard. That
And
kept
I'll
looking
go
at us.
behind because they cordon off the steps because they don't want homeless people over there.
Yeah.
So I'll go behind there. The security have seen me there working there, so they don't bother me. So you can do that.
Okay, now I know for next time.
We got
Yeah.
out of that museum in
Hoboken.
No. Upstate New York.
Oh, that was really nice, that museum.
Yeah, I can't think of
It starts
museums,
with a B.
libraries.
What is the name of it?
Which one?
Starts with a B.
Beacon.
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 Yes.
Yeah, there's is the Beacon Museum?
Yeah, I think so.
Beacon.
Mhm.
Oh, have you been there?
Yeah, Beacon.
There's so many cool stuff in
Yeah.
there. So the couple got married at a roundhouse.
Sure.
Yes,
Roundhouse
yes.
and Beacon. Yeah.
Right. So apparently she spoke to somebody in the museum that said it's okay to do their first look and portraits
Oh,
there.
it was a wedding day.
Yeah. They kicked all of us out, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. We were able to do the first look.
And we had to get the heck out of there.
And then like it was so funny because the bride acted like telling us like, all right, let's go then. So I don't think she spoke to nobody. I think she lied. I think she's like, right? She just like she was
She's like
She
trying
didn't
to pull up her emails. Or like she's in
Yeah.
her wedding
But nothing was
dress. And
there.
like,
yeah.
okay. This is
I was
not
like,
working.
no, she lied. Like she tried to be slick.
There's also this other museum in Brooklyn. You guys ever been to the Brooklyn Transit Museum?
No.
Right. So we didn't get a permit, but we had a makeup artist who was with us for this. This was like probably 13 years ago when we first started. The makeup person, it's a very quiet museum. It's underground. I think they only had one worker there at the time. So the makeup artist just talking up the whoever was in charge that day, security, and then we just went in there, took 5-10 minutes of pictures while she was distracted. It was the funniest thing. We didn't get kicked out of there, but we were 100% we're not supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I've gotten kicked out of an IKEA.
really?
Yeah, not supposed to be in there.
IKEA malls too. Yep.
We got kicked out of malls too.
Yep.
Oh, we've done Woodbridge Mall.
Yeah.
We
Oh
didn't
yeah.
have any issue.
Yeah, they were fine.
But it's
Woodbridge
Woodbridge. I mean,
You go shoot in front of a Claire's. Auntie Anne's.
Woodbridge Mall. They're not too concerned.
Yeah, we follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, these days I don't break any rules these days. You know,
Yeah.
it's just I'm too old for that shit to be running away from people. Trying to pretend I don't speak
Yeah,
English.
and also you plan accordingly. Like, you know, you don't want to. They kick you out. Where you gonna go?
Yep.
You have to start searching for places. Like, you don't want to deal with that unless you're in the city.
Yeah.
City, you could deal with that. You could find places to go to. But like, if you're driving an hour to a park and then they didn't get a permit, like, come on, nothing you could do.
Yeah, I tell all my clients just get a permit. You know, just do it right.
Yes. The moral of the story: charge travel and get permits.
Don't get kicked out, or at least don't get caught.
Don't
Yes.
get caught. And if you do get caught, pretend you don't speak English. Let them be racist.
Say sorry.
So I guess the moral of today's story was to don't nickel and dime your clients. Pay for your permits. If you are going to trespass, make sure you don't get caught.
Yes.
And if you do get caught, make sure you pretend that you don't speak English.
Nice.
and
That's the way
stay
to do it.
focused AF. I'll do
Stay
it.
focused AF when you do.
Stay focused there.
Keep your eye on the prize. ¿Qué?
¿Qué?
¿Por qué?
No comprendo fine.
Oh, Lord. And that's another episode of Focused AF. I'm Jen.
I'm Ro.
I'm Ben.
It's my turn.
That's fine.
This is Karis.
We'll just leave it like that.
I love it. Perfect. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at focus.af and check out our website on focus-af.com and check us out on wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah, on Spotify, Apple,
Google.
and Stitcher. We're on all those. Wherever you guys get your podcasts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Adios.
Adios.
Focused AF is a fun, business-focused podcast for wedding creatives.
Co-hosted by award-winning husband and wife wedding photography teams Ben and Karis.
And Jenn Ro, where we help fellow wedding creatives with their sales and marketing.
With laid-back conversations and real talk with some of our most favorite people in the universe.
And with that being said, are you Focused AF?
I am Focused AF today.
We are Focused AF.
I think I might be Focused AF.
Welcome to the Focused AF podcast.